Hey guys, it's Stephanie with Glam and Glitter Southern Style. So today what we're going to do is talk about how to be more productive and how to keep it all together. So I get a lot of questions because I am a realtor, so I'm self-employed. I do a lot of business with lots of different clients, different business partners. I have a fur baby family, I have a husband, I do a lot of fitness, I try to meal plan. So there's a lot of stuff that I try to pack into every single day. And I like to be super organized, and sometimes it just doesn't work. But one thing I'm super excited about sharing with you guys is bullet journaling. So at the end of 2016, I wanted to get super organized, and I have always been organized, but just figure out a process that was a little bit better. I'm self-employed. I have, 3 dogs, a cat, like to be fitness oriented, have a workout plan, meal plan. Husband and I try to be super organized with, bills, budget, just all that kind of stuff. But it always seemed like I had a to-do list running times 5 million. And so I really didn't feel like I was getting stuff accomplished the way I wanted to, or I was staying organized, or, if I wanted to go back and refer to something like what I got someone for Christmas, or my grocery list, or if I try to do a menu for the week and I want it to be the same consistent thing maybe once a month, I just didn't feel like I had a way to go back, and I was always recreating things. And that was really the key, was how to get more efficient. So I started doing some research, and I came across the bullet journal. And I did a little bit of research, and at first I was a little overwhelmed because there's some beautiful journals out there that people are super artistic. That's not me. I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm just not that artistic. I don't have the time, nor do I want to take the time to draw and do all these beautiful graphics. So at first I discounted it and moved on. Then I actually found the website, the bulletjournal.com website is what I think it is. I'll link it down below. And it kind of went through the process and the creation of it. And then I got my first bullet journal, bought it at Barnes & Noble, and kind of started dipping my toe in the water. Anytime I dip my toe in the water on any kind of process, I sort of have this contradictory reaction where I want to figure it out and do it, but I want to not have to go through the process. I want to figure it out now and be perfect. So I always have to kind of take my time and be super patient with myself and let myself learn. Hang on one second. Oh my goodness. Charlie wants to help. So what I did was I got a bullet journal. And when I first bought the journal, this is what it looks like. Okay. It's just a bunch of dots. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's a bunch of dots, and I was kind of like, okay, so how does that help me? And basically what you do is it's whatever you want. And that for me was overwhelming because I have all these options and there's no structure. There is a structure. If you go on their website, you can go monthly, weekly to daily. I find that having to draw stuff out on a daily and weekly basis is a little much for me. But what I love about it is, let's say I'm going on a trip. So for example, when we went to Maui, I did something like this. I don't know if y'all can see that. Where basically I put squares for all of my outfits, and I could write in there and I could see it. Because what I find personally is with all the digital out there, I still need to write stuff down, and I still need to have it on paper. I still like to cross stuff off my to-do list. That gives me a sense of fulfillment. I appreciate digital stuff. I keep all my calendars and things digitally, contacts, all of that. But as far as list making, and if I want to brain dump something, I need to have that written out and actually go through that exercise for me. So that's just how I work. And so what I've been able to do is really take this to a new level with my personal and work life, because I have one for work and then I have another one for personal. And sometimes they overlap a bit, and that's part of the challenge, especially even if you're not self-employed. Everything just mishmashes together nowadays, especially with mobile devices. So you could actually have one for both. And then what the key is there's a table of contents that you can start writing. Okay, what pages 1 through 5 are my goals for the year? And that's really what it came down to, was I wanted to have something I could refer back to, whether it's affirmations, whether it's goals, whether it's, hey, there's things I have to do every week, whether it's hot tub maintenance, taking out the trash, filling vitamin packs, there's certain things in your life that you probably do on a weekly basis. And what was happening was I was filling my brain with all these to-dos that I would have to do every week, remembering to do it. And that takes a certain amount of energy. So what I did is I created a page in my bullet journal where I said, okay, reoccurring weekly items or reoccurring monthly items. I know twice a month I need to go pay bills, or, you know, twice a month I need to do XYZ. And so I really started looking at things. So instead of taking the mental energy and trying to remember all those things, I wrote them down, and now I don't have to keep rewriting them, one, for a to-do list that I'm trying to do weekly or daily, and two, I don't burn that mental energy, and it allows me to be super efficient. If I'm going to plan a menu for the week, what I've started doing is I have a menu page, and I write down, like my husband and I sat down and said, okay, what are our most favorite 12 meals that I like to make at home that are relatively easy, that are healthy, that we both enjoy. That way, if I'm doing a meal plan for the week before I go grocery shopping, I know I don't have to recreate the wheel. I don't have to spend 5 hours on Pinterest or websites trying to figure out some awesome recipe that I've never made before and have no idea if we like it. It just started to simplify things, so I'm not reinventing the wheel every week or every month. So I really find it effective. I have, like, for example, I started, and this is where I have, like, they have cool things like this paper clip with a little tag on it. So I have a 6-week kind of goal setting thing, and let me see if you guys can see that. Can y'all see that? So, like, I just graphed it out. So basically, you know, I want to do certain things every day. Like if I want to get up at 6 a.m., take my vitamins, walk the dogs, read the Bible, do a meditation, and do a workout. And basically, I have every single day for a week, and I have 6 weeks. And then I get to check off at the end of the night, what did I do and what didn't I do? And then I have a section where it says, I feel ... to where I can actually record how I feel. And then, so this is 6 weeks worth of stuff on 2 pages. And then I can go here, and like, for example, here, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm sorry. It's a little difficult here. I've got like 6 sections. So it's going to be where I write my thoughts for the week in those sections. So now I can go back and say, okay, great. Every day I woke up at 6 a.m., I was so excited and so happy that I felt I had control of my day. I had some me time to go to the gym with nobody else around me. I love my dogs, but they're a little much sometimes. And I can go back and reflect on that. So if I have a week where I didn't do that and I feel kind of and I'm not really putting 2 and 2 together as to why, I can go back and look at that. So it gives me one place, because I'm the girl that will go out and buy a planner in January. And then I'll be at Target 2 months later and see something else, and I'll buy that. And then I'll look up and have 4 different spiral notebooks sitting around that I don't use any of them, and there's no rhyme or reason to them. And so this has really allowed me to, one, simplify, which is so key for me, because I feel like with digital and social media and being just busy with life, there's so many ways to complicate things. So if I can try to simplify something intentionally and stick to that program and then figure out what works for me and build on it, that's huge. So then I put work goals in here. I can put work to-dos. I've got like a little flap right here, and I know like this is my monthly goals and to-dos. So I can just quick access that and look at it real quick and go, okay, great. Have I done this? Have I done that? So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's something that's totally different. At first, I didn't like the fact that to get structure in the book visually, you literally have to have a ruler. So I went out and bought a small ruler. I went out and bought, like, I got these on Amazon. They're just like some fine drawing markers. I'm the least artistic person you'll ever meet is when it comes to drawing and stuff. I went to college for fashion design originally, and my fashion teacher was like, you're making A's in your fashion classes. And my art teacher was like, and you're about to fail because you can't draw anything with dimension. Like, drawing is just not what I do. I wish I could. And then you can buy other things like these little, you know, go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Guys, I know if you're listening to this, probably not going to go this route. But honestly, men included, I mean, planning out your day, planning out what your goals are, it's so huge. My husband and I started doing dream boards every January, and it's amazing. And I can talk more about that if you guys want. I can share kind of where our journey has been with that if you want. So comment below or like this video as a sign that, you know, you guys want to hear more about this type of stuff, because to me, it's a super tangible way to be efficient. There's something, and I know they have studies about it, there's something that when you actually write stuff down, it's like this mind-body connection versus, again, so much is digital, and I totally appreciate digital, but there's just something about writing down your goals, seeing it, crossing things off a list. And if this enables you to have one thing to grab, one thing to throw in your bag, one thing to take before you go to work so that you're not trying to, you know, go around the house and grab 4 different spiral notebooks or to-do lists. It just enables you to have something simplified. then I hope that that helps. Again, you can buy these on Amazon. You can go to Barnes & Noble. They have a lot of different colors. They're a little expensive. I think they're like 20 or 30 bucks, but it's going to last you quite a long time. And then the key here is going to be using that table of contents, because it's going to be where you can record stuff and go back and reference it. So you're creating your own book. If you're artistic, go on Pinterest. There's a ton of really cool ideas of how you can really make this your own. You could use colored pencils, like matte pencils, like we're back in grade school. So this is a really cool tool. I'm glad I found it. I had a client, I was helping her sell her house, and she was a professor, and I had just started with the bullet journal. And I saw one on her table. I was like, hey, do you bullet journal? And she was like, oh my gosh, I have like 8 books, because she was a professor for, you know, different classes and things and different studies. And so she had a bullet journal for like every section of her life. And she was able to keep it straight that way. I haven't gone down that road before with multiples, other than one for personal, one for work. And my personal one is more about goal setting and that kind of thing, where this is going to be more tangible, like to-dos and some future goal setting as well. But like I said, you could technically go and do one for both. One thing I did start doing in my personal one, and you can do it in your work one, is if I know that I'm going to probably want to continue with a subject or topic, go ahead and give yourself a few extra pages. That way you don't have to worry about, if you run out of room, going to the last part of your book. But again, if you want more information about this, just go online and look. I'll link it below. If you have any questions about how I use mine, don't hesitate to reach out. And then if you want to hear more about organizational productivity tools and tips and tricks, let me know in the comment section. Subscribe, like this video, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for watching.